Hello. Welcome to Lady Gang. I am Becca Tobin here with Jack Vanek and Keltie Knight. They are both leaning very far away from the microphones because they're eating their favorite Lauren's Bakery. Sweet Loren's gluten-free cookies.
Remember when we used to eat on the podcast all the time?
Yeah, candy, gummy candy.
10th season.
Yeah.
Which is why we did Lady World, to celebrate.
Exactly. 10th season.
A
Your hair
decade.
looks so beautiful.
Thank you. My mom put it in French braids.
Oh my God.
You need to stop living with your parents.
So dark.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
It's time for
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh, no.
Bad week. It is December. It is high time for the Rockettes. When you think of Rockettes, what do you think of?
Christmas Spectacular or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Joy,
being
holiday,
too short to have ever been able to audition.
sisterhood, like all these things.
Christmas sluts.
There is nothing more dramatic than the Alumni Association for the Radio City Rockettes. It is the most entertaining thing on
What
the
do you
internet.
mean?
Okay, so the Rockettes have an alumni Facebook, and it is run. I don't even know. Honestly, thank you to whoever runs it. Live your life. But I'm in the Facebook group, and then I know I write a check every year for $25. I never see, I don't know what you do with that money. Do you pay yourselves? I'm not even sure what they do, but there's 500 people in it. So at $25, it's a lot of money. I get a little note card, a paper note card that says I'm a member in good standing every year. I put it next to my passport. But the infighting, it is wild. So next year, much like Lady Gang, Radio City Rockettes are celebrating 100 years of Rockettes, which is so exciting. And Radio City started something called the Radio City Legacy, where you can sign up if you're ever a Rockette, and then, they give you a pin. So they essentially started their own alumni, but now it's the alumni is don't you dare go to the dark side. And if you sign up for the legacy one, you're not supposed to be. And then they're talking about Russell, who started the Rockettes. Russell wanted us to have an alumni as a place for us with no blah, blah, blah. There's a massive fight between old lady Rockettes happening on the internet. And it is phenomenal. My friend Laura Castleman, who's a CEO now, she literally will text me and she'll be you've been in the Facebook group today? And we just go in and we just watch these ladies. But what makes it so special is that it's a lot of people that don't know how to use the internet.
Oh, yeah, always.
So they write, when they write their Facebook comment, they write it as if it is a letter that they're writing to the mayor.
Yeah.
Dottie, I've seen what you've said sincerely.
They think it's a personal message.
I don't know. It's wild.
That's why I love all these Facebook groups, because it's all just a bunch of boomers that don't know what they're doing.
It is. But it's when you think of, I'm all these old lady Rockettes just sitting behind
It reminds me
Facebook.
of DCC in the docuseries where they have
the alumni, and it's who's going to stand where. And
Wow.
Yeah. It's when you're in the sisterhood and you're actually doing the show, you have to be such good friends with everyone or else the show will fall apart. And then after the real talents come out, Christmas is nasty.
Christmas is nasty this year.
Okay, my good week is this as I eat my cookie. It was my goal, as you guys know. We're going to talk about this in the manifesting episode coming up soon, but
Please don't talk about your health.
I'm not talking about my health.
Okay.
What's it going to be?
It was
Can't be about dieting.
It was my goal to get muscles this year.
Oh, this is the same thing.
Health. Did you get muscles this
My
year?
good week is that I'm a week away from going on vacation, and I have worked so hard. At Pilates, when they're put on the extra spring if you want to be advanced, I always put it on, and I have abs. I have abs, cute abs.
Like Britney Spears abs?
Not as cute as Britney Spears, but I have abdominables that I have not seen in a long time. And I'm very proud of myself. You guys can off.
Well, I was just worried it was going to be an update on your health journey, which is just such a erratic
Just a hysterectomy
journey.
update?
No, when she goes on her, I've been so good, I haven't had Diet Coke.
No. I just have abs.
Have you been cutting back on your Celsius consumption?
A little bit.
That's good.
I've only had one today.
Wow.
I actually have been cutting back.
Big improvement.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because there was a time I started getting
Heart palpitations?
Yeah,
and I was
do
like,
it.
I'm going to be that girl that gets a heart attack. And they'll be like, Keltie Knight,
So she only had 4 Celsius in her
Emmy-winning
system.
television
At
host
42.
Keltie dies of a heart attack at 42.
Wow.
Okay. What's
Oh,
yours,
yeah.
Jack?
Okay, so my good week, bad week is both house related. So my good week is my neighbors are amazing. We love our neighbors. We actually know them a lot.
Till they cut down one of your trees, then you fight.
Oh, well, nobody
Of course,
can
you
cut
love
down.
each other. You just moved in.
Nobody can cut down my tree.
They haven't written you and been like, "Shut up! Don't have this party."
That's
There's
true.
nothing to fight about yet.
No, I know. I'm
course
just
you love
saying.
them.
I enjoy them.
How old are they?
So the neighbors across the street are all probably like 50s, 60s. And then there's our house, and above and below us are people our age, which is very shocking because it's very hard to buy a house in
Nice.
Orange County at our age. So they're both so it's like the young side and then the older side. But anyways, one of my neighbors just baked us a loaf of sour bread.
Cute.
She was like, "Do you
mean
guys
Is
sourdough?
sour different than sourdough?
Yeah,
Okay, I was
sourdough
like,
bread.
What is sour bread? Is it an Orange County thing?
She baked us a loaf of sourdough bread, and it was so cute. She like texted us about it. She's like, "I'm leaving it on my porch for you to come pick up," and it was in like a little gift basket and shit. I'm like, "This is what I wanted when I bought a house."
I would have been like, why didn't you drop it off at my house? Why'd I have to come to yours? Oh, you have
because-
construction.
Yeah, there's construction workers.
Oh.
So that was just really cute because I'm like, oh, I feel like actually like I've never known a neighbor before.
Yeah.
So
You
it's,
know that when you make sourdough, you need a starter.
no one,
and-
it's disgusting.
No, it's kind of gross, but I recently had a sourdough, and like the starter was like 35 years old. They said.
Oh, I know. Well, that's what we're saying. I'm like, her starter's got to be old because it's really sour, but in a good way. But it's gross. They stink.
The starters or the sour bread?
The starters, they smell like it's like, I don't know, it's like moldy. Anyways, my bad week is, you know how we've been, our house has a lemon tree in our front yard. And I have been really, keeping up on the progress of the lemons. When we moved in, they were green and they've slowly been like yellowing. And I'm so excited for them to turn into ripe lemons so I can use them. So we went over to my house yesterday. Somebody fucking stole all of our lemons, all of them, all of the yellow lemons.
Do you have cameras?
We had Jared, my husband, Jared just put in like a Ring camera to like go just on our driveway because that's where the workers are working. We're trying to see if it can go over to where the tree is, but like we're gonna catch the culprit. I'm like, who steals?
Is it an animal?
Well,
I don't think
Sorry,
squirrels
this is something
eat
I would
lemons.
do. In my
It's
defense,
not because there was nothing eaten and there wasn't like anything left. It was
yeah,
like
it was all stripped clean.
it was all stripped.
Keltie was saying she's about to say she's going to do this. This reminds me of when you stole the pink backpack from E. It's not yours to steal, but you don't see anybody else using it, so you feel like maybe you can.
100%.
They weren't even fully ripe yet.
But they go by and they see that it's a construction house, and they're like, "No one lives here, so they don't need these lemons.
They're no
I don't want
waste.
them to go to waste. This tree's worked so
So put
hard
a-
to make us.
Wouldn't you
this
just
lemon.
maybe ask?
But
There's
if
no
you're
one
not
to
there
ask. You're not there.
So you just assume and then you go on somebody's property and steal their
Exactly.
lemons?
Yeah. I mean,
All of them? There's probably 15 yellow lemons that they stole. It wasn't like one or two. Like just pick a few for yourself.
Are you sure it wasn't the workers?
I don't know. We have to figure it out. But somebody is a lemon thief.
wow.
And that's
I'm so
riveting.
sorry
Yeah.
for your loss.
Thank you.
Riveting.
Okay. My bad week is I am very ashamed that I have an addiction, borderline addiction, to nicotine pouches. They're called Zins.
Oh, gross. That you put in your gums?
You've always been a little bit of a Nick.
I love nicotine.
Yeah.
I
You told me to start smoking.
When did I tell you
Like
that?
a couple weeks ago, you're like, you should start vaping because instead of Celsius, because you don't remember this?
I remember
You start
it.
vaping instead of Celsius because it gives you a little
vaping.
zip.
I'm talking about nicotine,
Yeah. I
not
thought that.
vaping nicotine.
Oh.
Nicotine is
nicotine.
usually in the form. It's just nicotine. There's no tobacco. It's literally just. It's
But
usually.
isn't that what vapes are? Nicotine vapes?
I think there's a tobacco element to
I
it.
don't think so. I think they're just nicotine.
Are you sure?
Let's
Get some vapes.
Anyways, I don't want to smoke it. So anyways,
vapes and try it.
anyways, I don't want to smoke it. I don't want to smoke anything. So these little pouches are what everybody in Sweden does.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
It's a very.
Don't they make your breath stink?
No, they're like minty.
Oh.
And what does
It's
it
not
give
like
you?
chewing tobacco.
What's it giving you?
oh, it's not?
It's like a little
It's
upper.
exactly what Celsius gives you.
Really? I'll try it.
Well, it's kind of like
Is it
all the
it's addicting.
biohackers. All the biohackers say that
They're into
nicotine
it.
is actually quite good for your brain, just pure nicotine.
Yeah. In low doses, I'm sure.
But I'm very. I mean, I don't want to get sued, but I do feel like it's having an effect on my throat in some way, shape, or form. Because
in
you're
a
like
Bad way or
bad?
good way?
in a bad way.
I'm sure.
So I'm trying to.
Drop me cookie.
So I'm trying to not do that. And here is my
How
day
often
one.
are you doing them?
I have like 2 to 3 a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They only last for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh.
I mean, I know people who constantly just keep
yeah.
one in their mouth at all times. But I really need to stop. And today I did stop for 2 weeks a little while ago, and it was quite easy after the first 2 days. It's just do the first 2 days doing it. So that's actually why I'm here in Los Angeles, because I don't have them with me. And I'm going to be here for 2 days.
You're going to be so bitchy tomorrow?
It doesn't make you bitchy though. It just like, it's this weird, I can't quite describe it because I'm not addicted enough to it to where it's like in my bloodstream at all times. It's just, I would get to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and instead of making a coffee, I'd be like, I'll just pop a little nicotine.
Zip.
Anyways, so that's upsetting. I don't like being addicted to anything. Speaking of addiction, my good week is that I looked at my face about 2 weeks ago in the mirror and I said, no more. I'm not aging gracefully. No, sir. I don't think it's cool anymore to say that we don't need to put neurotoxins in our face. I didn't actively get on the train of anti-neurotoxin, but because there was so much noise out there about people like stopping doing Botox, Dysport, all those things, I was like, okay, well, it's easy for me to just not do it if there's any confusion. The confusion is that I looked 45 years old. And I'm not.
Like you say, that's like it's a bad thing.
No, but like I looked in the mirror, and so
Keltie's age.
I went to
45.
I went to the doctor and I was like,
Fill me
my
up,
face.
doc.
I don't care what you do. I only stopped her at one point when she wanted to put a tiny bit of filler in my lower lip because she said that apparently when you're youthful, your lower lip is bigger than your bottom lip. Mine is not. That's where I drew the line. But
did you do
everything
right here?
else. Yeah. Oh yeah. She filled my cheeks.
Oh, you got filler.
Oh
looks
yeah.
great.
Yeah. I did Dysport. I did cheeks. I did, I'm pointing at my cheeks and my,
It looks great, actually. I noticed your cheekbones.
and then my droopy, like, you know, the like frowny lines,
Yeah, they
and
do
they'd get
Botox,
jowly.
Yeah.
She did a Botox there, but she also did a teeny tiny, she called it a sprinkle of filler to just kind of give me more fat pad under my mouth that was starting to get concave. And let me tell you something, I'm never going back.
You feel good, right?
I feel so much fucking better. Why are we all trying to be heroes?
I'm not.
I'm not.
It's crazy. No, but
people
for a
are.
while, remember
People
we were
are.
kind of like, no more filler, no more this. I'm
yeah.
like, in moderation is where
Yes.
I'm living, and I am never stopping.
no, for sure.
Well, I was gonna say we did some sort of a FaceTime last week, and I was like, her face looks good.
That's
I'm
when
like, I
did
knew.
it.
I'm like, she did something.
I
just
was
don't know
so
what it is.
droopy. I was so droopy. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you, filler.
All right. When we come back, more of us.
Great.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so today's episode, it is International LadyGang Day, and this is an episode by popular request. A lot of our girls in the Lady Gang are like, I really want my mom, friend, gym buddy, parent at school, whatever, Gen Zer in my life, niece, to listen to Lady Gang. But it feels like it's like a club that, like, if you don't know us and you don't know the inside jokes, it's like impossible to start. So I'm calling this the first episode of Lady Gang ever
Oh,
on International
We
Lady
have
Gang.
done something similar.
We've done over the years, like, this has been a problem. So we've done
It's
like a couple.
initiation day.
yeah.
Today is initiation day. This is the episode. If you've ever been like, oh, I wish my friend listened to Lady Gang so we could talk about it, this is the episode that you're going to send everyone. We have many things to discuss about Lady Gang. We are going to describe in detail each one of the girls. We are going to rip each other in Lady Gang way. And by the end of the episode, you will be best friends with all of us. You will know if you are a Becca, a Jack, or a Keltie. And then you can join the Facebook community and be a part of Lady Gang. Because I don't want anyone to feel like this is a club you can't be in.
Yeah. Okay.
I asked ChatGPT to describe each
The
of
Lady
us
Gang?
Oh no.
and the Lady Gang. So I'm
Did
going
they
to
say
read-
that I'm a star baby?
Star baby. Okay, here we go. The Lady Gang.
You're a star baby.
Okay, so what I did is well, hold on. For Jack, did I do a mean one?
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
No, actually, for all of us, I asked ChatGPT to describe all of us, and then I said, "Now, but be meaner."
Okay.
And then they did the mean version, but
I don't
I
think
actually
my
they were
heart
so
can
mean
take
that I
that.
deleted them. I took the mid. I did a nice mid and then mean.
I thought the ChatGPT like wasn't allowed to be mean.
No, it is.
Oh.
Okay. Here.
I could write mine, and it was probably verbatim.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we start with you?
Go.
So let's start with Lady Gang.
Okay.
Okay, here's the nice one.
No, I'm saying I could write my mean one, and it would probably be verbatim.
Exactly the same.
They're probably pulling the mean ones from comments that you said about yourself.
Online, yeah.
There's many.
The Lady Gang podcast is like the group chat you secretly wish you were in, but also are glad you're not. Because who needs that
That's the
level of chaotic energy in their life?
Wait, is this the nice one or the mean
This
one?
is the nice one. It's where three ladies come together to spill tea, overshare, and offer life advice that you definitely shouldn't follow verbatim. It's like a brunch date that never ends. Mimosas, gossip, and questionable life choices all around. If you've ever wanted to know what it's like to be inside the head of your most extra friend, just tune in.
Oh my God. That's, I feel like
That's
there's some
the nice
jabs
one.
in there.
A lot of jabs.
That's a nice one.
Okay.
Are you ready for mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
The Lady Gang podcast is like listening to a never-ending brunch where the mimosas keep flowing and conversations are about as deep as a puddle. It's three women talking over each other, vying for the spotlight with hot takes that are more lukewarm than anything else. If you're looking for groundbreaking insights or meaningful discussions, this isn't the place. Instead, you get a cocktail of petty complaints, random tangents, and the kind of advice that makes you question if they've ever made a good decision in their lives.
I think that sounds amazing.
Same.
This is nicer
It's like
than
reality
the nice
TV
one.
for your ears. Entertaining for a minute, but mostly a guilty pleasure you hope no one catches you listening to.
Can we put that on the screen at our live shows?
Yes.
Yes.
Large.
Yes.
You like it?
Wait, but I think you should even, is that the mid one? Was there a meaner one?
No, this is mean.
That's the mean one.
Yeah.
See, there are still a few compliments in there though.
It's true.
Like a guilty pleasure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What part did you think is a compliment when they said we're as deep as a puddle?
No,
or
end.
the advice that questions if you've ever made a good decision in your life?
It's
Right.
like reality TV for your ears.
That's actually nice.
Reality TV's
What if
booming.
what if
It's a
instead
big
of
business.
what if instead of like going to the press and being like People Magazine said this, we just go ChatGPT said this.
That's great.
Yeah. ChatGPT never
So
lies.
you did it for us as individuals as
Yes.
well?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Who do we want to start with?
Not me.
Start with me.
Becca Tobin. Becca Tobin is like the effortless. I like how my ChatGPT knows to insert like in places that you don't need it.
Oh, wow.
Becca Tobin is like the effortlessly cool friend who somehow always looks like she just stepped out of a fashion magazine, even when she insists she just threw something on. She's got that deadpan humor that can roast you and make you laugh at the same time, leaving you wondering if you should be offended or impressed. Becca's also the friend who's almost too good at adulting, casually nailing life while the rest of us are still figuring out how to fold fitted sheets. But let's be real. Her secret weapon is acting like she's above the drama when quietly stirring the pot with one perfectly timed one-liner. Classic Becca.
Whoa. ChatGPT that was obviously the nice one.
That was the nice one, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Can I hear the mean one?
Do you want me to do it?
Should we do all of our nice ones first?
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to hear yours, Jack?
Uh-huh.
Jack Vanek is like the friend who always looks like she's coming straight from Coachella, whether it's festival season or not. She's got an effortlessly edgy vibe, not today, like she woke up, threw on something from the floor, and still looks cooler than everyone else in the room. Jack's also the queen of sarcastic comebacks, and you know she's judging your life choices, but in a way that somehow makes you laugh instead of cry. Her personality is like her iconic bracelets, bold, a little irreverent, and impossible to ignore. She's the one you go to for real talk, but don't expect her to sugarcoat it. Jack's just too cool for that.
So cool.
Wow.
I feel like ours are pretty much
Kind
the
of
same thing.
It's true. No one can tell us apart on the podcast.
That's true.
So
What's yours, Keltie?
I don't blame the robot.
I feel like hers is going to be crazy.
Keltie Knight is like that friend who somehow manages to turn every conversation back to herself in the most hilariously self-centered way possible.
This is a nice one.
She's got over-the-top enthusiasm that could make a dull moment feel like a Broadway audition. She's always on, even when she's just grabbing coffee. Keltie is the queen of humble brags and has perfected the art of making every story sound like it's straight out of a rom-com starring, of course, Keltie Knight. But honestly, we wouldn't want it any other way because every group needs a Keltie to keep things interesting.
Amen to that.
That is so funny.
The rom-com. It's now I'm never going to not hear that or think
What
that.
was the person? Keltie Knight is that friend who somehow manages to turn every conversation back to herself.
It is me. Every time.
She's the queen of humble brags.
Queen of humble
That is
brag.
so funny.
So, are you Becca, Jack, or Keltie?
Am I?
Yes.
I believe I'm a Jack.
Just kidding. Okay. Here's what we want to tell all of the listeners, new listeners. I want each of us to tell the ladies listening 2 things they think it's important for them to know about each of us.
Okay. Like, do I do it for myself?
Or the Lady Gang. Yeah, I think we should do it for ourselves.
2 important things to know.
Yeah.
Like if they're just now listening.
Yes.
Well, I am the only parent on the podcast. I have a son, and it's not my whole personality.
I think you've done a really good job of being like one of those moms who like your whole world is not momming.
Yeah.
You
Is
know,
that possible though? Because it's got to be your whole world is momming.
well, I mean, my whole real world, like,
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm home, but I'm compartmentalizing, like I come to work, but I have noticed I am very irked by, and this is judgy. Also, I'm very judgmental. So that's my other thing. I am a little judgmental of women who become mothers and suddenly act like they're the first people on planet Earth to become a mother.
Like a self-righteousness.
It's like a smugness. It's a little bit of an elitist take.
Like we're not doing cubed vegetables at my house.
No,
I'm
it's like on Instagram when that person never had children and then suddenly they do, and their entire personality is now being like a mom who knows everything about being a mom.
Yeah.
And like this wonder of the world because you carried and gave birth to a child. It just seems I am very triggered by that type of momming. It's very performative and smug. So I aim to not be that person because I was a non-child person for more of my life.
Yeah.
That I understand what it's like to not give a fuck about anyone else's children.
Yes. I think you do a very good job on this podcast of people want to hear about you as a mom. You know,
I think people want to hear more about you as a mom
I
than you ever let
100%
on.
agree. I actually don't think you do. You're right, Jack. You do a terrible job of telling us about your mom life, but you've done a good job of like.
But I get why you don't, because it's like we're not like a mom podcast.
No, and it's mind numbing when people talk to me about their children. Even if I love it, it's so mind numbing to me. And I don't. And you know what? That's me. I know that there's people who their whole lives revolve around raising children, and like that's beautiful too.
Yeah.
But that's your choice, and then this is my choice, and I don't think we have to like really perform out, like live out loud our choices of how we want to have families and be moms. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I also think children deserve privacy. Like they don't, like I don't know how I'd feel if I'm now almost 40 years old and my parents had a podcast for 10 years and they told stories about me.
Especially
Ooh,
like embarrassing
interesting.
stories. Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
I don't want people to think they know my child just because they know me.
Right.
Well, it's like people have parasocial relationships with people based on like the smallest tidbit of information.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get why you don't do that.
Well, okay. My important thing is that I'm the childless wonder of the group and I have no children. And actually, I was going to say, I'm finding it more and more difficult to be a part of Earth at this exact stage with all of my friends because 95% of my friends have kids, but they're all at I think that you're busy forever when you're a parent.
Yeah.
But like all of my friends have kids 6 and under right now. And it's just like, school, figuring like they're not teenagers yet.
It's all encompassing.
It's all encompassing. And so it's like, I go to the birthday party and like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't know how to help. I don't know what to do. I can't be of service in any way. And my whole, like, a little bit of my love language is being like the crisis friend. That's like, I'll come save you from this bad relationship you're in or the fire or whatever. But I'm like, I can't save you from parenthood because I literally don't know what to do. Like, do not leave me alone with your child. You know what I mean? Like, I would be terrible at it. So being a childless wonder, I'm kind of like, what am I doing? Who am I friends with? Like, all like a couple of different of my friend groups, like I'm like, I don't even belong here. I found out the other day, this really breaks my heart, that like my dancer friend group, they have a separate mom chat, which like obviously they do because they're parents, but like I'm not on the mom chat. But
Is
like
it everybody but you?
well, it's like the people that don't have, so there's like a couple people in our group that don't have kids, but like there's a whole chat of my friend group that I'm not involved in because I'm not a mom, and it made me sad a little bit.
Seems so weird because I don't have any chats in my life about being a mom.
Lots of people have their mom chat group.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I guess you have your friends that are also moms.
I mean,
but
I'm
like,
thankful for not being in the mom chat
No,
because
'cause
that would be like, what do you guys do about toilet training or whatever?
Yeah.
I'd be like, bleh,
Yeah.
I'm good.
yeah,
you
I
know?
guess. I think I just don't have it. I think it's more of like a one-on-one. When I have an issue, I go to like one friend who I know has dealt with it. So the group chat,
Stays friends.
yeah. I don't know. Could they really be talking about parenting that much that they need to
I mean, I
remove
could
the people
definitely-
without parents?
I could
mean,
see
without
it.
kids.
I mean, we have the Lady Gang LA group chat, me and Jack, now that you live in Austin,
I have lots of different group
Rude.
chats for different reasons.
with
of
all
topics.
same friends.
With different people from our friend group, yeah.
You do?
Wow.
Yeah.
Shady.
That's so weird. I hate a group chat. That's probably
love a
why.
group
This is
chat.
probably why I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
But I will say, Keltie, like to your like point, my mom's best friend from childhood, who actually came to the Lady Gang show in New York.
Yeah.
She's this badass attorney. Her name is Jenny, and she never had children. And she was very career focused. She was in a man's world. She dominated the fuck out of that world. She couldn't have dominated like that if she had had children. It was very fulfilling to her. And I can see that when I was young, I didn't see much of Jenny. Like my mom and her had like once a week times they'd go see plays together, blah, 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 blah. But what's beautiful is that once my sister and I became more independent, my mom and Jenny's relationship got even stronger and stronger than it was when we were young. Like it comes back around.
Well,
Because my
especially-
mom's not around with being a mom anymore.
Well, even when they get old enough to just like take care of themselves as like a preteen, I'm sure that your friends will come around like in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're not like running around of like following a baby in diapers.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I don't want to be in your group chat.
You're not a good group chat like
I know.
participant.
I'm not even good at it.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants me in the group chat anyway. No, it's fine. What's the other thing people should know about me? That I try to be fancy and fabulous, and at heart, I think I'm just a really, really, really big nerd. I don't like to leave the house. I like to read. A perfect Saturday for me is like sleeping in, organizing a drawer, color coding my pens, cleaning a closet, you know, making a fancy coffee at home, looking at baby animals, watching a documentary or Housewives or something like that. And like, I could sloth. Like that lady who's stuck in space right now is
Oh
my
God.
dream.
That is my nightmare.
I mean, not this stuck in space part, but people are like, oh my God, you don't like see anything. You don't eat any new foods. You like I would be okay if I had to live in that biosphere, like where they lock you away. And like, I could.
You should go to
sloth,
Mars.
Never change. Rude. I could sloth, never change my clothes, never wash my hair, never leave my house for like 6 months before I was ever like, I think I really want to go do something.
Oh my God.
I believe it.
Jack?
Okay. Well, one thing about me, I am the complete opposite of
Enneagram
Keltie.
7, the enthusiast.
That's what I was going to say. I'm the Enneagram 7 of the group. You two are both 3s. And
Yep.
if you haven't taken the test, you should. I have always had like a very inquisitive, adventurous personality. I always like to try new things and have new experiences. And then another thing about me is I think I have like a tough exterior, but I'm a big softie on the inside. And I'm really sensitive.
Yeah, I would say you're like cool. You're so cool that you don't think it would matter if everyone was in your top 8 on MySpace, but like secretly you really care.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm very sensitive on the inside.
She's squishy.
I'm squishy.
I forgot to tell you. Okay, sorry. I'm deviating for 1 second from this. I went snorkeling and I saw a pufferfish in real life. So
cute
this is just
ones?
me in a nutshell. The cute one with the big head and the big,
the big
eye.
eyes.
And here's what's crazy is they can't see straight. So when it comes to look at you, it turns its head and it looks up and it was like, hello. And it was so freaking cute. And I thought about you.
So cute.
Oh my God,
I'm
it was
jealous.
adorable. Okay. All right. So every episode of Lady Gang is something different. You may get a celebrity guest. You may just get us. You'll get a quickie. But it always starts with Tuesday episodes always start with Good Week, Bad Week. Becca, where did Good Week, Bad Week begin? And we have never missed an episode of Good Week, Bad Week.
No, we haven't. So at the end of the day, a lot of people call it, like in their families, the thorn and the rose.
Oh, yeah.
Where they go around the dinner
high-low.
table, the high-low. So this was kind of based on that as a child, where you'd come back together, you'd eat your dinner, and it was, what was the good part of your day? What was the bad part of your day? Since this is a weekly podcast, we made it Good Week, Bad Week, where we talk about the high of our week and the low of our week. And it's fun.
It's been like the most popular thing we've ever done.
It's nice because it gives insight into what our week was like-ish, or, you know, something fun or crazy or insane that happened.
Yeah.
And Keltie tells it like it's a rom-com.
Well, and it's
Starring me.
It's a way to like insert ourselves into the episode every single week without it being like a big, massive thing if we have something else going on.
Yeah.
Well, and at Lady Gang, we like structure. So
Yes.
what happened is we created Lady Gang, and when we started it, we were like, we're going to make it like a TV show. So it had like segments, and then everyone else started their podcast, which if you listen to a lot of other podcasts, it's just psychobabble for like an hour. It's just what happened, blah, blah, blah. We like structure. I want to know, I'm going to get you welcoming me. You're going to get a good week, bad week. Then we're going to go into this. Like, we like to give you what you want. And a lot of people, and I know this, and actually we should do this as an Instagram poll. A lot of our listeners only listen to Good Week, Bad Week.
Yeah.
They literally turn the episode off, which please don't do that. But if you need to, just listen to Good Week, Bad Week. Like, that'll get you high for the week. High?
Sure.
Whatever. Like the nicotine.
I wish that
You
got
know
me
what I
high.
mean? Zing, zing. Okay. I was looking for International LadyGang. I always like to look back at where we've been.
Mm-hmm.
You would not believe what Instagram looked like
Oh my
when we
God.
started LadyGang.
Oh, really?
Horrible.
It was no circles along the top. No stories didn't exist.
No.
It was just that blue, like, writing and like 3 comments or 3 likes because nobody was on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
and
Good old
everything,
days.
there were no apps that like filtered your photos or anything. You just had those. So our early Lady Gang posts are literally like us from the photo shoot with like that chromica. Like,
Yeah.
And Jack was like, everything has to be the chromica. Like, it was really, really crazy. It's just so, so strange to look back at it. And then we got the idea for the Facebook group, which was Jack, which if you're listening to Lady Gang and you feel like you want to join, the Facebook group is a great place to join. So you started it, right? Like when? Like 3 weeks in?
Yeah, I started it when we first started our podcast because I think My Favorite Murder had one. That's like a true crime podcast that I listened to like way back in the day. And I'm like, this is like such a good way to get everybody together. There wasn't any like, I mean, message boards had died. People weren't
It was
really
like
using
the only way.
Yeah, but people weren't really using groups. But I'm like, let's just try it out, like see what happens. And I think we started it as like a fan page, like a fan group. And then we're like, this is the place to talk about Lady Gang podcast.
Yes.
Like what was on the episode that week, like what we're chatting about, what's your good week, bad week. And then girls started just like making posts about their lives. And those posts would do way better than like anything about the Lady Gang.
It stopped becoming a Lady Gang fan page and it was just like
Immediately.
a
A
collective.
community.
Yeah.
A community.
And then we realized that the value of it. So we've been nurturing it for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's the best part of Lady Gang. Like we wouldn't be where we are now without the Facebook group.
And also what people don't realize, I think a lot of people know this, but we have 10 moderators on staff that we pay from around the world in every time zone that are constantly watching the group, making sure all the rules, like it's actually a huge undertaking because there was an era like 2016, 2017 where everyone got rid of their Facebook groups. I think we're only one of the last podcasts that still has one because they imploded. Because it's like, how do you get 30,000 people together and
not have it implode?
Yeah, there have been some times.
We've had some mini explosions.
We had some big
explosions.
And big
like,
ones.
We had a girl burning one of our lady boxes.
Yes.
I almost
was
got
a subscription
fired.
box.
I mean, it was bad. Like
news.
shit.
There were bad times.
Yeah, but now it's very chill.
It's great.
Yeah, it makes me really happy. I honestly, Mark Zuckerberg style, would not have Facebook if it wasn't for our Facebook group.
I would. It's the only thing I'm doing in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't have a real Facebook.
Let's talk about the first touring as a podcast. So this is kind of crazy, but if you can think back to the beginning of Lady Gang, podcasts didn't tour. Musicians toured and comedians toured. First of all, there weren't that many podcasts, but I remember Becca's acting manager, Ricky, was like, you guys should do a live show. And we're like, a what? So we rented a yoga studio.
Wanderlust.
It was a
in
yoga
LA.
studio,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like a yoga space, like wellness cafe.
Yeah.
And we had Spencer Pratt.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
our first show, and we had to like put out all the folding chairs ourselves.
Yep.
And
We made the plant wall.
We made the
Zach
plant wall.
you guys
No,
made,
not Zach. We all did.
Yeah.
I mean, he helped, but like we
Yeah.
were like staple gunning plant leaves to a huge wall. It was actually really cool.
It was very beautiful.
wild.
And we, in the sexist bitches that we were, at the time, I was telling a story on the podcast about this really hot man who used to work out at the gym at my work, and he wore jeans. Jeans man. And Jeans
God, I forgot
Man,
about Jeans
we
Man.
hired one model.
Oh my God.
And we made him go shirtless, and he was wearing jeans, and he was giving out the cocktails.
Yep.
Our own Jeans Man. Like, where is that guy? Did he make it? He was like a struggling actor in LA.
That's
Like,
so funny.
I forgot
did
about
Jeans
that.
Man make it? What I specifically remember about our first show was it was around Christmas time, and we had no budget for this, and we were not making money off the podcast yet. And we went to Target and we bought tinsel Christmas trees. We put them up, we did the show, and then we put them right back in the box
And returned them.
them.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
And like, there were no screens. There was like, nobody was doing this. And we were just like, So then we got this idea like, oh my God, we're going to do live shows. And we planned one in New York. And that's
my
when
God.
shit got crazy.
Was it at a city winery in New York?
I think it was.
It was a daytime show, and our girls, I don't know when this happened that people are like, oh, we're going to get rowdy at LadyGang shows.
Blackout.
But it was like an unspoken rule.
Well, it
Yeah.
was because the age that we were
We were
at.
young.
We were young.
Yeah.
We were single. It was half single, half not. And our listeners were young and single and
And
partying.
rowdy. Yeah. So everybody at that show was
including me and you
wasted.
and you.
We were wasted.
Wasted. We had a girl pass out in
Go
the
to the
venue.
hospital.
A girl go to the hospital. People throwing up. And it was like a 2 p.m. show, which is honestly my ideal time to do all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So like I loved it.
Yes.
But yeah, that was crazy.
That was
and then it
wild.
sort of set the precedent.
Yeah. And then from then on, like, I remember getting a call from like a touring agent at one of the agencies. And they're like, oh, well, we'd like to help you do this tour. And then podcasts started touring. But like now you can check like every podcast does a tour. But at the time, no one did. And so we've had like 6 tours. And we just finished like last weekend, I guess. Last weekend, we just finished this tour. We're not doing anything until Lady World. And so that's kind of why we have a festival called Lady World that's coming out in September. And that's why we made Lady World, because we like to be ahead of the game.
Yep.
With LadyGang, you're always going to get something new that like nobody else is doing. And then I guarantee by the time 2026 comes, every podcast will have their, well, it's very hard to do, but like people
Good
will have
luck.
festivals and stuff, because we're not even going to tour anymore. It's going to be like, you come to us at Lady World. So fun. Maybe
Yeah.
we will tour. I don't know.
I like Lady World.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Last question. How we made the podcast at the start. Okay. So here's what we had. We went into this room, this Podcast One studio, and Becca had just finished Glee, and she knew like 8 famous people. And so we really like had them, remember that we had them come. We had
I think Ali Fedotowsky was our first interview, right?
Ali Fedotowsky, Cheryl Burke, who I think I knew from Dancing with the Stars, Leah, Darren, all your Glee friends. That was really like, I just remember my one memory is like our first episode came out, and the owner of the company at the time, we were like, if we make the top of the charts, which like there was only 14 podcasts, so like we're going to
Easy
make
to get in the top 10.
Remember, we had 80,000 downloads, and he took us to the Knicks.
No, to the Lakers game.
And we sat courtside.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was amazing. And we were like, we made it. And he was like, it's only going to go up from here. And then we've like hung on for 10 fucking years.
Rest in peace, Norm.
Norm died.
know.
He was our fairy godfather.
Yeah.
Yes. And so then a year in to the podcast, December 10th was when our first episode aired. So December 10th is always International LadyGang Day. And I do think it's fitting that it has, sometimes it's a Saturday, sometimes it's a Thursday. Here we are going into our 10th year on a Tuesday.
Aw.
Weird.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So it's just really special, and I hope that explains a little more about us. And welcome to the Lady Gang. Share this with your friends. We're usually more fun, but now you know the whole backstory, and you can. I mean, we were fun. We were kind of fun. Anyway, now you know the backstory. Welcome to the Lady Gang. Can't wait to have you. Year 10. I'm fucking proud of us.
Hell yeah.
See you at Lady World for our birthday. Are we going to get a birthday cake? Am I going to pop out of a birthday cake at Lady
should,
World?
you should.
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday. Like a Marilyn Monroe?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway. And then we do an outro, which we've done on every episode. Becca, want to explain that and then do it?
See you next Tuesday.
That's not an explain, but yes.
You can infer
I
what
think
it
you can.
means.
Because now like 20 other podcasts do it too.
I know. It's so
They
fucking
do see
annoying.
you next Tuesday?
Oh, there's a
Yes.
lot of them.
No, because it says, it means cunt.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
See you next Tuesday.